board in the back.
There you go. Just in case anything good comes out of it.
Oh yeah,
Always something good comes out of it. What you mean?
for sure, man. What's good with you? How's everything?
Everything's good, bro. How are you? Congrats on selling that house quick as hell.
Yeah, dude, it was on the market literally for 4 days.
Nice. And
So
an agent had it before you, right?
yeah, so one of those, Open Door, Zillow, Redfin, and those type of companies, they have agents out there, and and they work for the company more than they work for their client. So they
100%.
they had they had my client, and they didn't do a good job, and they lost them. So I was able. That's kind of how I got the client.
What do you think you did that they didn't do that the house lasted 4 days? And how long was it in the market before you came in? Like, how long did they have it in the market?
They had it on the market for 30 days,
Mm.
almost 30 days, so a little less than 30 days. So one, they overpriced it compared to what the comparables were in the market, and then two, they didn't do any marketing for it. He didn't do an open house. Um, he didn't do any like Facebook ads. They didn't post it in any groups. He literally just threw it on the MLS. And with that, my client even did the description on MLS. The agent didn't do the description. My client did the photographs, the property photographs, which you would think, the agent would take care of all that stuff. So he literally just put it up on MLS and hoped for the best. Yeah. So what I did different, from the beginning, I came in with a CMA and showed my client. I created a CMA, showed them a bunch of comps that were in the area, so they knew they had the information that I had, and we could make a decision on pricing together. So I presented them CMA, which that agent didn't do. Came in at a much more realistic price point, and then
What was your price point compared to theirs?
so they listed at 330 originally. And the comps were in the 290s, and that was on the high end. So they came in at 330. I think like 20 days in, they dropped it from 330 to 320. So my approach was, hey, let's hit the audience, the group of buyers that are, right before 300 or at 300. So we came in at 299. So anybody who has their MLS set to receive homes between 250 to 300, we're gonna show up in their feed now.
And what type of offers did you get?
We got a bunch, man. We got a bunch of FHA loans or offers that we weren't really excited about. Got a few cash offers, and then got a few conventional.
Is it legal and everything for me to ask like which one you guys go with?
I'm not sure, man.
I think so. I mean, at least you can say.
Yeah. So
was it cash? Was it FHA?
No, we went the conventional route.
Okay, I'm surprised. How come you guys went with that over cash? Was the cash offer lower?
The cash offer was lower, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, the house was in good condition, so it would have passed any type of inspection. So.
Yep. Yeah, man. I mean, we got the ball rolling quick. Inspection's been done. We're up to the appraisal part of it. So.
Nice. So you'll get an appraisal out there soon.
Things are moving pretty fast, man. But it's crazy how good open houses work. You're skeptical about open house, and the buyers actually come in and buy from the open house. And I had a pretty good turnout on Saturday, and then Sunday was decent too. But the turnout on Saturday was pretty awesome.
Were you able to get enough? Were you able to get a few leads?
Yeah, definitely. I got a few leads. So you got a variety of people that come into those open houses. You got buyers with agents, buyers without agents. You got other people in the industry like appraisers and inspectors who want to go out there and network and pass out their business cards. You got the window shoppers who just want to see what's out there. So just creating that traffic of everybody getting there at the same time. It creates that sense of urgency for the people who really do want to sell. So it's pretty good. So I was able to network with, I got a few inspectors, young inspectors who are starting off in the game.
Those are good to have, bro.
Yeah.
You need something quick. Those are the people.
Yeah, exactly, man. So that was good. And then, a bunch of window shoppers that are like, planning on getting married in the next few weeks. The next step after marriage is finding their first home. So I was able to, get their information, get them on an MLS, automated email list. So it was pretty successful, man.
How well do you use your automated email list? Do you
I got,
try and put everybody on that?
yeah, I mean, it's good to get as many people on it as possible, I guess,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I use it. I'm focused more towards the seller side of things. I'm focused on being a listing agent more than an agent for buyers. So my buyer list isn't as big as I would like it to be, but we're getting there.
That's good. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
How
just a
about
matter
you?
of networking, putting all that information into the same platform.
Yeah. How about you? You have a pretty big buyers list, or?
Um, no, I actually don't really have any buyers list. I don't really I don't like buyers. My very first time when I posted
Me
when I posted
neither.
that I was an agent, I had a few buyers hit me up and I was like, I mean, cool, let's make some money here real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick, my ass, like
Oh yeah.
showed them a few properties, drove around here, drove around there. Anything like, the door is 2 inches too tall. Like I don't like it.
Oh yeah.
And it's just something that I didn't want to deal with. So, I mean, and from the start, I knew that I wanted to just mostly strictly work with investors.
Yeah.
So I do have a list going of investors.
Okay.
And those people are buying and selling all the time. So essentially you just kind of get the icing on the cake.
Are they buying vacant lots? Are they buying
No, they're buying mostly right now like rehabs,
rehabs? Okay.
to like flip something, or I have a few investors who are just looking for like a longer long-term
Okay.
situation. So they're
So
just
they're
more on
wanting to
like the buy and hold.
buy and hold. Okay.
But we were talking in the office. We might start, or we're working on it. Actually, we're not. It's not a might start anymore. We're working on seeing how we can start like an investor brokerage type thing, to where we're just strictly working with investors.
Nice.
And then one of the things that I want to also bring to the table when you partner with us is getting into the short-term rental industry, which that's a booming industry right now. And I think
Oh yeah.
it might just be it's either at the tip of the ice age or, well, we'll find out where that's going. But
Yeah, that industry just taking off, man. It's at the tip of the iceberg for sure. I can't hear you. I think your mic cut out, bro.
can you hear me now?
There we go. Yeah.
That's weird. So one of the things that we need to work on now though is finding out all the regulations here like in Tampa or Florida or Pinellas, wherever we're going to be at. To make sure that we're within like the regulations, but we'll see how that goes. Investors are always fun to work with.
Oh yeah. I have a few off the market houses right now. That I'm going to reach back out and touch base with them this week. There's one in Ybor City who's looking to get rid of his property. So I might be in touch with you if you have a few investors that are ready to go. I'll keep you posted once I find out a little bit more this week.
Let me know, man. I mean, we've talked
Yeah.
about brokerages before. I don't really hear our brokerage. When I say our, I mean at my brokerage to make it more clear. I don't gain anything from inviting anybody, but it's just we're trying to get a really good group of people there together.
Nice.
So if investing is something that you're interested in, and
Oh, yeah.
at some point you don't feel like that's going on at your brokerage, just let me know and come over one day or something like that, and we can kind of see if it's like a good fit or if you like it or whatever the case is. But we're definitely trying to create a room full of investors where everybody can just throw ideas at each other and get something good going.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm always down to throw ideas out there, network, and brainstorm. Like that's where the greatest ideas and creations come from, man. When you get
Yes, sir.
a group of motivated young people who wanna be successful. So
it's not as easy as it seems to find a group of like-minded people. It seems a little easier than said, and then you're like, all right, let me go out there and find them. I mean, there has to be young people who are looking to be like extremely successful, motivated type of people. And I mean, you're surprised that they're not just in any corner.
Yeah, I think it's, I mean, they're out there just, connecting with them and being able to jump on a call like we're doing right now. I think that committing your time is the
Yeah.
hardest part. Everybody wants to be, connected with the right people, but actually committing an hour of your day or a few hours of your day to go get out of your routine and your comfort zone. I think that's the difficult part. At least for me in my past, has been, yo, yeah, definitely let's hang out or let's chat. But getting away from my routine to
Yeah.
connect and come together with somebody else kind of always been the difficult part of things.
That's why I like the Zoom thing, because it's like a great
Mhm.
way to just
Oh yeah,
connect and then be informative as well. And then, I mean, we just hang up and then like we both keep
yeah,
going on with our lives. You could be in your boxes right now for all we know.
oh
And then
yeah,
you just, you know what I'm saying?
yeah. I
That's what I'd
am,
be
dude.
telling my broker, because my
That's what I'm
broker's
keeping it
like,
up.
my broker says a little bit like, bro, come to the office. You know, he likes that office vibe. And it's
Yeah,
like, bro, I live like 40 minutes from the office. Like by the time the 40 minutes that it takes me just to drive there, we could have hopped on a Zoom call and we
oh
would
yeah,
have probably done with the work. While I'm just
exactly.
now getting over there. And then all of my stuff is
You
here.
gotta
So it
get
just
back.
makes it so much more convenient.
That's the one good thing we can take out of this COVID pandemic from the last 2 years is really changed the face of a
2
few
years.
different industries, man. You could do these Zoom calls and get as much done as you would, like you said, driving 45 minutes there and back. So, thanks
It definitely sped it
coronavirus.
up
Yeah.
for sure. Sped it up. I was
Oh
talking to
yeah.
Kurt yesterday. Kurt was talking so good about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually
Nice.
met up at one. You guys met in high school or something like that?
Yeah, we were good buddies back in high school.
How old are you then, bro? I thought you were like my age. You have to be older because Kurt's hella older than me.
Nah, I mean, how old are you, man? I mean,
I'm
I'm pretty.
26.
Yeah, I'm a little bit older than 26. Not by much.
Where you at? Like 28, 29, 30?
I'm 34.
34?
Yeah,
Wow, you
yeah,
don't look 34 at all.
yeah, man. A lot of water, a lot of fruits. Stay out the
I don't
sun,
eat too much
eat good
fruits, but
stuff
I
a lot.
do drink a hell ton of water, like a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
water.
So you and Kurt met up. You guys were hanging out.
So I'm currently not flipping. We're more of like a buying and rehabbing and trying to do like the Burr method.
Okay.
To where we fix this thing up and refinance it and see how much money we can take out of it. And we're doing that with a duplex that we currently own. So I was just getting some of
Nice.
like his feedback.
Nice.
And then you
He's a
just
good
came
guy
up.
to. Yeah, he's a good guy to get feedback on that type of stuff, man. He's well knowledged and experienced in that industry.
Experience,
I saw the
brother.
Instagram story you had. You guys were tearing up walls, and it looked
Yeah,
like you guys
yeah.
had some fun in there.
Yeah, so that's where we met up. I decided to do the demo myself just to freaking enjoy all this breaking.
Oh yeah, so a stress relief.
Oh man, it was great. And we still
Nice.
have the whole bag to do. So let's see.
Where's that property at?
It is by West Tampa, like McFarland Park area.
Okay.
That whole
Nice.
area there is like it was like more of like a bad area back in the days.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how they've just came and like scooped everything out
Oh yeah.
quick too. Like a matter of maybe like months or a year, they've scooped
So
up.
is that Seminole Heights area? Is that the Heights around
No, I
there?
think
Or
this is just like West Tampa.
West Tampa? Okay.
It's literally right next to like 275 and not Kennedy area, but yeah, McFarland.
Okay.
I don't where do you live?
I'm in Carrollwood.
Carrollwood. Okay. I love Carrollwood.
Oh yeah, Carrollwood's awesome. Yeah, so I'm like right in between Carrollwood. I'm like right in the middle of like Carrollwood, Citrus Park, and Town and Country. I'm surrounded by those communities.
That whole area over there, I feel like has grown tremendous too. And with
Yeah.
well support, like that's not like an area where people are like, are the prices going to stay up here? Like it's
Oh yeah.
it has very good support.
Yeah. There's the value's increasing for sure.
So what are some of the things that you do on your daily basis as like a real estate agent to bring you business or to keep going, whatever the case may be?
Prospecting, man. I'm always trying to build contacts. So one is I'm getting in contact with people that I know. My network. Of people that I haven't talked to in a while, friends, family. Just touching base, and then I do a lot of cold calling, man. I go to the traditional route, and I got a big Excel sheet in front of me with the homeowner's name, address, phone numbers, and I go through that list, man. And I make phone calls. I get hung up on a lot. I get cussed out a few times.
Does it
And
work
then
very well for you or?
It does, man. I've been able to build a pretty good, and I don't do it as much as I should, and as much as I'd want to. I'd want to do a little bit more, but it does work for me, man. I've built some really good contacts and a pretty solid database through cold calling. So, just for example, I got a CMA or I got a listing presentation this week off of it, and then I got a few other ones lined up. This is the cold calling is kind of one of those things where you're not going to get instant gratification. You're not going to call somebody and on the first conversation they're going to say, "Yeah, man, let's sell the house together." Right? This is one of those things like, "Yeah, send me some information, send me an email." And then I send the email, and then I got to follow up. Hey, did you receive it? What were your thoughts? Yeah, I love it. Prices are going up, but I have a tenant in there for another 6 months. Call me back. So it's one of those things where you're planting seeds and you're watering it with conversations and emails, and then in the future, I'm sure I'm gonna reap the benefit of it.
What emails are you sending? Like CMAs of their house or something?
Yeah. I'll send a CMA. I'll do an introductory one. So typically I'll touch base. Give it a day, and then send the email, whether with the CMA or with just some general market information, of their area, and then I give it another few days, and I'll follow up to see if they got it, and then I kind of fall back and wait a little bit.
You got to show me how, because I use Remine. I've used Remine in the past. I remember you talking about it.
Yeah.
You got to show me what it is that you do on there.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I can definitely show you, man. Remine is awesome. That's the tool that I use the most. I actually love that app.
You go through the app, or you go on the.
I go through the matrix, and then I click on Remine, and then I go from there. Yeah. I do everything on the desktop. I don't do it on my phone or anything like that.
Yeah. I don't know if you have things on your screen, but if you don't mind, I mean, you can share your screen and maybe show us a little bit of what it is that you do. As a new agent, I was lost as fuck when I first got here. Like I'm sure most people are. I mean, it's one of those industries where you kind of just jump in and then you're like, what now?
Yeah, you got to learn how to swim by yourself.
Yeah.
Or if you got a good brokerage, or good thing is we got we're on the age where we can have YouTube. So I was very proactive, and I went on YouTube and found a bunch of real estate coaches, realtor coaching programs that I enjoyed. Started following and got a lot of insight off of them.
What's your favorite thing about being an agent so far?
I like it all, man. I mean, I love Tampa. I love this area and this community. Helping people find a home to create memories in with their families, pretty cool. Being able to talk to a bunch of different people, homeowners, go into their house and see, what they put their blood, sweat, and tears into, and helping them, serving them, and selling it. I like it all, man, to be honest. I also like the cold calling aspect of it, the marketing, the process of it, like finding a list, going through it. I like getting cussed out on a few calls, and I like getting, hey, yeah, send me an email. And I like the roller coaster ride. It's pretty interesting. So
I'm gonna have to jump on some of those cold calls with you, because I fucking hate cold calling. I have yet to do one cold call.
Yeah, that was me for a while, man. It took me a little bit to actually be like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I watched a lot of videos, saw a lot of different scripts, and it was maybe like 2 or 3 weeks. I would go to the gym, bro, and I wouldn't even listen to music. I'd be listening to scripts and to coaches, and I wouldn't listen to music. And I reached 2-3 weeks in, and I was like, man, I gotta make a call. Yeah, I gotta do it. And the first call you get kind of nervous, and then second call a little bit less, and then you have a little bit of fun with it. And
I've noticed that though, because one day my brother, I told you he owns like a plumbing business.
Yeah.
So they mostly do like 24/7 emergency services, but they're plumbers. They do everything.
Yeah.
And one day we were just like, yo, let's call like some apartment complex, some property managers and stuff like that, and like let's see who needs our services, because he's trying to grow his business as well. And the very first like 3 phone calls were awkward as hell, and I talk a little more fluently than he does. So he was next to me, and I was like, fuck it, I'll grab the phone, let's do it. Um, call like 3 people. The first 3 were like awkward as hell. And it's exactly what you said though. After the 3rd or 4th, like you start relaxing and you literally start having fun with it. Like if somebody
Yeah.
cusses you out, you just like
Yeah.
start laughing and it's almost like
Yeah. Yo, they cuss me out and they hang up on me. I cuss them out right back. You know, as soon as they hang up, like, you do, yeah, I don't want to talk to you anyway. And then it's on to the next one. It's
like,
all
fuck
good.
you. I don't need you next.
Exactly. I
It's
like
one of
your
those,
house
it's
anyway.
really one of those mentalities that's for anybody who's like cold calling and you're like, yo, this shit isn't working. It's literally that it's keeping that mentality of, yo, there's 7 point something billion people in the
Oh,
world.
yeah.
If you want to work with me, I'll work with you. If you don't, then next. And it's just
a
that
numbers
mentality.
game. It's a numbers game for sure. Yeah, I try to take that approach when I call. I try to take the, obviously I don't take the bad phone calls personal. They don't know me. I don't know them. I'm a spammer calling them in their eyes. You know what I mean? And that's fine. But when I do get on, the call, I'm never pushy. I'm always like, hey, if it makes sense for you, if there's a deal, if the number is right for you, I would love to provide you more information. No obligation. I'm very like easy going on those phone calls. I'm never too pushy. So
when's the next time you're cold calling?
I was gonna cold call a little bit today. I might not. We'll see. But probably tomorrow morning, I'll probably cold call a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm here on Remine. So what are some of the things that you do on here?
All right. So where are you at? You on Remine? I'll go to
so go back to Zoom if you want, and you
Yep.
see in the bottom where it says share screen.
Yep.
Click on there and either click on Safari or desktop, whatever you like. And then that way the audience or whatever watches can see like, some of these people are paying like shit ton of money for some of these phone numbers.
Where are we at? You got me on there. You see my screen?
Yep.
You see my tabs too?
Your what?
My tabs? No, you just see my Remind screen?
No, I see your tabs.
Okay. I think I got anything bad in there, but all right.
Let me watch porn and shit, dog.
Yeah.
You're a family man. I know you haven't been getting on that porn. I haven't watched porn in forever. I know that that's super off topic, but it's been like years and years and years.
We don't need to, man. We're married men. With
I'm saying,
with wife and kids, there ain't no time for none of that. All right. So Remind, man. So what I typically do, I use Remind for the searches, right? So first thing I go to the search tab, and then it depends on what it is you're looking for. So
let's hijack my zip code. Do you need a zip code?
I can use a zip code. I'll do it in a minute. There's a few different ways to do it.
Go
ahead. These are kind of the main categories here on the left. You have property value. You can look for houses between these certain categories, price points. So let's just click a few: 250 to 500,000, 500,000 to 750,000. We'll click that. And then you click on equity, how much equity they have in the home. Ownership time. This is something that I use a lot. Typically for real, for people in homes, they typically stay in their home for 5 to 7 years, I think is the average. And then they're
I heard 10 years was the average the other day.
What was it?
10. But
10?
yeah, 7, 10.
Okay. Right. So I never really put 0 to 5 years because they're still new to the home. Sometimes I look for 20 plus, someone who's been in the home for a long time and has, what you would expect, a lot of equity in the house. So we could just click a few of these. Let's do all those. Sell score. So this is how likely they are to sell the home. I think they pull that by a few different ways. There are homes that have been on the market that were expired or that canceled. And those typically will show up, in the high score. You have absentee homeowners, people who are out of state or in state that don't live in the home. It could be a rental property, a secondary home, a house they inherited. This is a good one to click too. Building type, single family, multi-family is always fun. All right, cash buyers. I mean, those are usually the ones I click. And then we also have more filters up here. And I usually click off market. So I don't want anything on the MLS at the moment. What else? That's usually it. So you can really, man, if you have a specific type of home you're going for that that you're targeting with your investors, you can really go in here and really specify what it is you're looking for, by square feet, by beds, the type of house. If the house is in distress, I don't think I saw that. I didn't show you that earlier, but if the house is in distress, you could also click houses that are in distress. And then once you click these, these different filters, you'll have a list here on the right of different homes. If you zoom in, you can find them as well. So typically what I do at this point for my cold calling, I'll select them all and I'll export it into a cart. And then from there, I can put it into an Excel sheet, and then I have, a big sheet of houses. So kind of have an Excel sheet here. This is one of my Excel sheets. So if you see, this is the long list.
I only see your Remine.
Oh, you only see the Remine?
Yeah, where you click on share screen, you would have to click on desktop, and then it just shows as you move around. But
okay,
other than that, then we just see Safari.
Gotcha. Okay. Anyway, so let me see. So you got this list over here, and you can kind of put it into a cart. And I have different carts that I've made. Let's see. We got the Testament, Plantation, Distress. I don't know which one this would fall into. Create a new cart.
So out of all our apps included in the Stellar, Remine's one of your favorites by the looks of it, huh?
Oh yeah, Remine. And I go changing that, the carts and stuff. I go deleting and changing it as as the weeks go by and as I use them. So, and then if you zoom out, the list grows.
Yeah.
So that's all of Florida, and it's pretty cool, man. If you're targeting a specific area, what would be an area that you would target with your investors?
I really wanted to hit, well, for me personally. So that's the thing. That's mostly I feel like that's what's the best and the worst about me is I became a real estate agent mostly because of my interest as an investor.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the searching that I do for myself. And then it just so happens that it's kind of broad. So that's where I can relay all this information to the other investors because it's information that I'm looking for myself.
Gotcha.
So sometimes it's hard for me to separate like what I'm searching for myself and what I'm searching for a client, unless that client's very specific to me and they're like, hey, this is what I'm looking for, then that's the criteria that we go with. But for me recently, I live in 33607.
Okay.
And I've noticed that a lot of my neighbors are like passing away, meaning they've had their house for a minute. Mm-hmm. So this is like Old West Tampa. So around here, we've had ownership for a while.
By the stadium.
Yeah, it's like to your bottom left where it says Raymond James.
Yep. Okay. So cool
thing that here, area there's 33607, but yeah.
So we can get this. Kind of do this whole block.
Yeah.
And it'll only show you homes in this area. So we have property value. We could take that out for now. Sell score. Let's add medium. Building type, single family, ownership. Do it over here. So you say you got a lot of people who've been there for a long time. Let's get the oldest ones off the market. So in this area, we have 230 that match. They kind of match that very simple criteria that you've put. And you can go in here and see, kind of gives you the highlights of them. And this is the home. Purchased by Thomas 30 years ago. Tells you how much equity they have in it. And obviously that's an estimate. Gives you their information. And you go to homeowners, and it'll tell you, obviously it'll give you, their contact information as well. So that's what would show up in my Excel sheet. So sometimes I do it from here and I don't go into Excel sheet. Like, if I'm on a rush and I just want to make some calls, I'll click some of these that say hi. So this one looks like it was in the market. Has some updated pictures.
Call
Oh,
some
let's see.
random ass person, dog. Let us hear you.
Say what?
Just one. Call one person. Let us hear you.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Just one. Whatever the heck you would say. I mean, what's imagine it turns into a listing presentation? Just one phone call.
Hey, it
That's
could.
life.
I've seen it happen before.
That's life.
Yeah. So this obviously this app isn't perfect, right? We put in there ownership time, from 15 to 20 plus years, and this one just got sold September 30th, 2021.
I mean, that's very recent though. That's probably why it hasn't updated. That's like
yeah. So
matter of days.
so sometimes those slip between the cracks. But yeah, man, this is my app. This is my go-to app, man, for prospecting. So I go through this, make a list, have 1,000 numbers on my Excel sheet, and start calling away, bro. And
People
then
are
from
paying a few
there,
$100 for 1,000.
what's that? Yeah. I mean, people are paying a lot of money for those, for those prospect leads. And then from there, I go into prospect CRM, and I'll create a profile for them with their name, their contact information, and then any notes, anything that stands out from the conversation, I'll put in the notes, and that gives me reminders of when's the last time I called them, when to follow up. If I set an appointment, it'll give me reminders from there. So
You only put them on you only put them on prospect once you've had that phone call with them, and it wasn't just like an asshole, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if they tell me, yeah, no, I'm not interested right now. I have a tenant in there, and they pay me $1,200 a month. I'm not looking to sell it anytime soon. My response to that would be like, no, definitely understand. I don't blame you. If the market continues to go like the way it's going and values continue to go up, let's say in a year and a half, 2 years, would that be something you considered at that point? And I'm like, yeah, who knows what happens in 2 years? Yeah. And I'm like, all right, well, perfect. Do you mind if I call you in a year and just touch base and see how things are going? And then they'll be like, yeah, that's fine. Call me. I'll put them in the system. And typically I won't wait a year to call them. I'll call them in 6 months and be like, hey,
Right.
I called you back in September. I know you're not ready to sell yet, but market values are going up. I can create a complimentary report for you, just so for your own knowledge what values are in your home, or what values are in your area for homes like yours. And typically they're like, yeah, that's fine. And then that's my second contact with them, and then I send them a CMA. And that's just kind of how I build off of that.
That's great information, bro. I mean, I didn't know. I personally had never used Remine. I knew what this was for, but I had only used it. So, for example, those 230 results there, what I would do is add them to my cart and then just send them a postcard. Yeah. So, I mean, obviously you're paying for that, and have 90% of the time, 99% of the time, you don't even hear some type of feedback. So I actually like the idea of just skipping all that payment BS and just giving them a call and being like, hey, what's up? Yeah, I mean, whatever's going to sell is going to sell anyways. And you get that feedback a lot faster.
For me, that mailer is part of my marketing plan as well. So I'll call these guys, and once I have them in the CRM and there's been a discussion and they've heard my name or my voice through a phone call, I put them in a different list and I send them a mailer after. I want to connect with them in as many different ways as I can. So phone calls first. I feel like that's the most important one, is direct, and you can get feedback directly from them. Step 2 is an email or a mailer. So, hey, have a good conversation. It was great. I'll talk to you in 6 months. In 3 months, they get a mailer from me. I find out when that mailer goes out, and a few days after they receive that mailer, I give them a follow-up phone call. Hey, just touching base again. That way I'm top of mind.
Wow.
So I definitely, I mean, if you've used the mailer before, I would definitely plan on continuing to use the mailer.
I think I used the mailer wrong when I used it, though. I just kind of went ham and did like, okay, here are 3,000 houses, and just fucking one big ass mail list just fucking sent out.
Yeah, no.
It would have been better.
You got to have very targeted, targeted with the targeted message.
We did make our criteria a little more like we didn't just like, hey, here's a zip code, send it to everybody. We did put like owner occupied and this and that.
Yeah.
So we
did you do the letter? Have you done the letter one instead of the actual card?
No, I didn't know about a letter.
Yeah, so you can do a letter, and it actually is actually comes out it's very attractive when you get it, and it has your name, and I feel like people when they get letters addressed to them, and
They
it
read
doesn't look
it.
like a bill, they open it just to see. You can kind of customize the message in that letter. It's a little bit cheaper than the cards too.
Oh wow.
So
And the cards
I would
alone are pretty cheap.
the what
The cards alone are pretty cheap. So the fact
they
that the
are.
letters are a little cheaper,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah, it's super affordable.
Yeah, when you guys do the math on how much it takes to print and then the time that it takes to go to all these properties. And first of all, you can even when
Yeah.
when we first did this, we actually ordered some mailers off of Vistaprint.
Okay.
Shit ton of mailers, like 2,000 mailers or some shit like that. And it
Nice.
wasn't even that much cheaper than what we paid on here on Remine. And we were actually just going through mailboxes, putting these shits and not knowing that it's freaking illegal as fuck to open
That's
people's
hilarious.
mailboxes and put things in there.
That's funny.
So I'm glad we learned that just without having to go through the experience of somebody being like, "Yo, why the fuck are you opening my mailbox?"
Oh yeah.
And just it wasn't even so much of the fact that we were doing something illegal. It's just the fact of it came down to pricing, and then it just
Mhm.
completely made sense to, hey, send these 1,000 out for me real quick
Oh yeah.
for like
Yeah.
20,
When I
30
when I first
cents.
started, before I was before I started using Remine, I did something similar. I was printing out small reports, small CMAs, or little flyers, and I was putting in those clear sleeves that you can put on like as door hangers. So I knew I wasn't supposed to open a mailbox. So I'm glad I was I was aware of that. So I didn't take it that far, but I was printing little reports out, and I was walking neighborhoods, specific homes, and I was putting door hangers on people's doors. So I didn't get too much feedback or response from any of
I like
those.
the phone calls, man. The phone calls is really the cheapest, quickest
Oh
way to
yeah,
get a feedback.
direct, man, straight, straight to the prospect. Like you said, I could call 10 homes in the time it would take you to walk your block and drop off a few of those mailers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then gas and all that stuff. So I would definitely recommend um, you know, getting
And you
yourself ready for doing some cold calls.
and you essentially know kind of who you're calling too. And like, for example,
Yep.
you know that that guy is the property owner. You know that he's been there for X amount of years to where when you're
Yep.
just knocking, you're like, all right, who the hell is this? You
Oh
know,
yeah.
you don't even know if that's the person in charge. You don't know
Yeah.
anything.
And knocking is a little bit more invasive. You come into the door,
Especially with
someone may be
COVID, people are just like, fuck it, I'm not opening.
yeah, people are looking at through the peephole or through that window that they know that they can see what's going on. And it's a little bit more nerve-wracking knocking on doors than it is
Yeah,
phone calling.
I can see that. I
Yeah.
like this strategy though. I might have to man, maybe we can plan on like I know you have your schedule going, but I can maybe adjust to your schedule just to not change it. And maybe we can hop on one of these Zoom calls and just go ham on calling people. I mean, that'd be pretty cool. I wouldn't mind
Yeah.
trying it for a little bit, seeing how that works.
That would be
It's not
I'd
so
be down
much
for
my
that.
niche, but I mean,
We could do a follow-up, Zoom call. It's, strictly based on or focused on, some cold calling and some of those cold calling strategies.
yeah, I think that'd be cool. We can hear some objectives. We can hear some of like your responses. Your responses are going to be way better than mine. So obviously, you've studied this thing for a little bit. I'm just going at it now.
Yeah.
Again, I mean, I just said that this isn't really my niche, but I know on here, for example, when I did the mailers,
Mhm.
you can pick investors. I mean, you can pick people that are just like we were talking about earlier, like absentees, owners, and stuff. Those
Yep.
are usually investors.
Yeah.
So I essentially could reach out to my niche as well, just on here. Just, hey, I noticed you're an investor. I mean, are you looking to invest anything else?
Hmm.
So there's always ways to make it work.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You have to find, the right formula for you and what your objectives are. So, um,
One of the only things that I've really learned that has kind of sticked with me in regards to like cold calling or just talking or just prospecting in general, it's just simply asking like, hey, is there currently a good realtor that you work with? And
yeah.
then just that answer alone gives you that feedback that you need. Like if they say no, you're like in the door. If they say yeah, like just from the response of that question alone, you kind of know your odds on like, all right, can this be a client of mine's or not?
Oh
There's
yeah.
some people that are like, yeah, I worked with one, but he was asked. There's some that's like, yeah, oh my God, he's fantastic. There's some that are like, no, I don't really know anybody that's like really good. And then in
Yeah.
that case, you just kind of present yourself again. So it's ways.
Yeah, and when they say that they do have one, it's always good to counter with, it's always good to know all your options, right? Wouldn't you agree that it's smart to weigh out all your options and see what is, the best option? Just because you've worked with somebody for 15 years or a friend of a friend doesn't necessarily mean that, that may be the best option for you. So
For sure.
there's always still a counter to, I have a realtor that I've worked with, or there's someone that I know.
What would be your counter to that? Like if I was a customer and you asked me, hey, is there a realtor? Yeah, I have a buddy of mine, sir.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be like, oh, that's awesome. Definitely understand there's a lot of realtors out there. One thing that I would say, and tell me if you agree or not, is it's always good to know all of your options, right? And I'm an option out there, and I would love to present to you, obviously with no obligation, kind of what I bring to the table and what would be my strategy and plan to get your house sold for the highest value possible. So if you have a time to pencil me in, I could present my plan, introduce myself, and just show you, what I bring to the table. And there's no obligation. And that's kind of the route that I would take.
Have you, since cold calling is something that you're like enjoying, have you tried looking into like a dialer?
I've started to think about a dialer.
I've seen some YouTube videos of people on dialers. That's just crazy.
Yeah, it looks like I could get a lot more done with the dialer.
Bro, it's just making like 10 phone calls every like 5 seconds or something like that. If somebody picks up, it stops the rest. You talk to that person. If the person doesn't pick up, like it leaves an automatic message for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the next stage. The next stage is I definitely looking into a dialer and seeing how I can make this a little bit more efficient, because it's not a problem manually dialing it on your phone, but if you can get a dialer that there's just a list and it's just going through it, when you're done with one call, it's on to the next one. It'd be very convenient.
Have you gotten into any of the problems of like talking to a person on the do not call list and then bitching about it or some shit?
No, I mean, I've had, people, put me on your do not call list. They'll scream it to me, or like, hey, I'm on the do not call list. Oh, I apologize. Your number came up on my list, and I'm sorry. I'll put you on my personal do not call list, and I'll make sure I don't reach back out. So if you go through my phone right now, I got a long list of DNCs on there from people who've told me to put them on the do not call list. So I personally go in my phone and put their number on my do not call list. So if I have another, Excel sheet that I have and their number pops up again and I don't have it highlighted, when I dial the number, at least then it'll show up that I shouldn't be calling them.
Why are you essentially using this Excel sheet and not just not putting them into the prospect CRM?
I don't want to overload the CRM with unqualified leads, and this way I kind of found that system, pretty easy with the Excel sheet. I know, what information to keep in and what not to. I got certain things highlighted. If I call and no one picks up, I highlight it yellow. If I call and it's a no-go or do not call list, I highlight them red. If I call and they're interested and I put them in my CRM, they're highlighted green and then bolded. So I kind of have a pretty good system on there.
Okay.
And I can scroll through and I can see, okay, this person has 10% equity in this home. I'm going to skip them for now. And I'm going to find someone who has, a little bit more to gain from selling their home. So the Excel sheet works pretty well for me. Yeah.
Man, all that has been such good information.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's fun, bro. It's good. And it's all been through trial and error. I just, like we talked about, it started off door knocking and leaving stuff at people's doors, and I was like, there's got to be a better way. So I would go into my matrix and I started playing with the apps, and I was like, oh, this is cool. I can go through the map and see different areas and what's what, and all these different categories, and really customize what I'm looking for. And I fell in love with it. I've been using Remine and kind of my Excel sheets for maybe like 2 or 3 months now. So still pretty new at it, but I'm starting
I think if it's something that you're enjoying, maybe zooming out to where your results are around that number, like within the 2, 3,
yeah.
4,000s, and
Mhm.
getting yourself a dialer, I think might change your game.
Yeah.
I think you might be
Yeah,
getting
I've done
like
that. I've
300
put
phone calls a
specific
day.
categories, and then I think the limit is like 10,000. I don't think you can have more than 10,000. So you gotta have to have a little bit smarter than
I see.
that.
That right there, though, that's still a shit ton of houses right there.
Oh yeah, you imagine, dude? That's a whole lot. Yeah, I definitely need a dialer for that because it'll take me a long time to get through all those numbers.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. That's something that you could do now too, though. Send like a little bit of a mailer to that zip code of the house that you just sold,
Yeah,
and then just
yeah.
put, yo, just sold this house in 4 days.
Oh yeah, just sold this house for 4 days and the price.
Send to that
That
little zip code there or something like that. That might be something. That's
oh yeah,
something that I've heard that people normally do right after they sell a home. It's like send it. Everybody in that neighborhood should know
a follow up
that home
mailer
just
for
sold.
oh for sure. Yeah, I'll probably have that lined up. I'll probably do I'll probably do a call too. I'll probably have a cold call list for that little area too, and call everybody and tell them, hey, this is Michael, local realtor, just sold a house, 2 blocks from you at this price, and it sold in 4 days. Have you considered selling your house if you can
Yep.
get an offer like that? No, and then you go from there.
Yeah. That's really good. So what's a day you think that we can get with you and do some cold calling? Let's get on here and do some cold calling.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. Let's
I usually plan these Zoom calls for like Mondays and Thursdays. Like last Thursday, I actually planned like 5 Zoom calls with people.
nice.
Just dedicated the day, like 5 hours of the day, towards having like an hour of meetings with people.
There you go.
Instead of like spreading them so much throughout the week to where every day I have to sit on here and talk to people.
Yeah,
It took a
that
lot
makes
of
sense.
time.
I think Monday would probably be the best. So if you want to go for next Monday, we could definitely do same time as we did this week.
Is that normal? Can we do a little earlier?
Yeah, we could do earlier.
That way, when we finish, we don't finish like we can finish a little bit before lunch.
Yeah, for sure.
What time was our meeting today? 10:45.
Yeah, I think something like that.
Maybe like something. It doesn't have to be super early, or like 10 is okay, 9 is okay. You let me know.
Yeah, let's
9:30.
do
What time do you normally get on your call list? Because that when you're doing cold calling, I mean the time's important.
for sure. Yeah, so I don't start cold calling before 9:45.
Okay, that's cool.
So 9:45. So usually I do 9:45, and in between 9:45 and 10 is typically people that I know. So I'm not cold calling, more warm leads or my network. And then at 10 o'clock, between 10 and 12 is typically my cold call hours.
That's cool. So maybe we can get on at like 9:45, get everything ready, and by 10 we're like
Live. Yeah.
hitting up these people.
Yeah, let's do it.
That's exciting.
Yeah, man, that'd be cool. I gotta I gotta make sure I'm on my A game on Monday.
That's all good.
All right, I'll put it on my.
I'd be putting everything on my calendar too, bro.
You got to, man.
Absolutely everything. Like if I could literally schedule when I have to use the restroom, I'll do it.
There we go. What are we doing? 9:45.
Damn, I'm gonna get more on this Remine thing and look for like investor properties. I kind of just thought it was more for that, like, and I knew that the client's information was on there, but I never actually thought about just grabbing the number and like.
So you still got my screen? You still looking at my screen?
Yeah, you start sharing it. Whenever you want to stop sharing it, just go back to Zoom and cancel where it says share screen.
Gotcha. I'm still pretty new with Zoom. I don't use it too often. But look, it has the cash buyers category right over here. So that's something I've never really used, but it seems like something
people that bought their houses cash.
I guess so.
Guessing.
Yeah. Doesn't give me anything else either. Let me just see what it says.
That's a nice house.
Less than a year. Yeah, these are all investment companies. Dealer investments. Let's see another one. Oh, that's nice.
Does it show you any information on like their mortgage? Damn.
Well, damn.
That's a nice property too.
Oh yeah.
3.6 mil.
Yeah.
Damn,
They give you,
location, street view, you can see everything from there.
you see, yeah, man. You get the full details, taxes. You go down. Last time the house was sold. Look at that. It went up a milli, and what? What did it say? Oh no, it was withdrawn. Okay, never mind. Cancel withdrawn.
Yeah, but it's gonna come to the market around that. That's a badass house.
Yeah, so that's somebody to call too. Hey, the property's withdrawn. You touch base and say, hey, what's going on, man? Why'd you take the house off the market? Yeah, these are cash. October 23rd. It's live right now. Yeah, I'm not sure with the cash buyers. I've never used that filter before.
I'll play with the I'll play with Remine this week. That way I kind of have a little call list as well. And we'll shoot for next Monday.
Nice, man. Yeah, so we both got to jump on calls, and I like the sound of that.
On Thursday, I was actually like not so much maybe to go on Zoom every single time, even though that would always be a plus. But I was actually looking for somebody eventually to just like, yo, let's hop on, like, let's hold each other accountable. Let's get on something, and then let's see how many phone calls we get. Essentially, that's a start to your business.
Oh yeah. I mean, this what it's all about, man. Prospecting and getting on those phone calls, bro. That's how you build it up. We're new in the game, so if we could start that, start doing that consistently. A few years from now, we're definitely going to reap the rewards of it.
Yes, sir. And on Thursday, I'm actually having a Zoom call. I'll give you more information on it. See if you want to join us.
Okay.
I'm having a Zoom call with a kid named Ronald. I had a Zoom call with him this past Thursday. I have to upload the video. And he's a mortgage broker. So we're going to get a little more into details about specific loans and how we can help people get them, or how how we can teach people how to get them themselves. If that's something that you're interested in, you can always join, ask some questions, give some feedback.
When is that?
It's Thursday. I don't think we've set up a time yet because we did it last Thursday as well, and we were pretty broad we were just talking about like different types of loans, different type of mortgages.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
So on this week, we're just going to dive a little more into each specific mortgage and what's good and what's bad about them. We might go over a mortgage contract.
Okay.
So that people know what the heck it is that to look at, what it is that they're signing. At the end of the day, what stops a lot of people from either buying houses or investing in houses is essentially just fear. And fear just comes from not having enough knowledge.
For sure.
Essentially. I mean, nobody's like afraid to go to the bathroom or something for the most part. Just is something you know how to do.
Yeah.
Most people get in the car. I mean, you want something more dangerous than driving, and it's something we all do without even thinking about it.
Definitely.
So yeah, it's just a matter of getting information out there, and then that's how I feel we're going to be the best of help. I mean, even if it doesn't bring the money now, just knowing that we're helping people, it's satisfying in its own. So
definitely, yeah, you become that resource too. They know that they can come to you for information, and you're going to be the person that they think of when, hey man, I've been thinking about buying a house, but I don't know what type of mortgage. I've seen I've seen his podcast and I've seen his videos on YouTube. They're gonna they're gonna come to you and ask you those questions.
For sure. And it's also what I've loved. It's honestly almost selfishness of me though, because I honestly love being on here. Like every time I'm on here with somebody, I'm learning so much. Since it's just like me and that other person, even if there's more people on here, I mean, you're physically here, like you're dedicating the time to be here. So you give it all this attention and you always take something great out of it.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, it's awesome, man. It's awesome that, I appreciate you inviting me and us being able to have this dialogue and chat. But it's cool that you're doing it with, a bunch of other people and, people in different aspects of the industry, like the mortgage broker.
Yeah.
You know, the amount of knowledge that you're going to be able to gather and utilize, you know, in your career is going to be, you know, tremendous if you continue to do that. So, you know,
Let's do it, man. I mean,
good job, you know, being proactive and, you know, putting your face out there and you know, getting those conversations going on Zoom, man, because that's a big thing.
Thank you. And I know that I mean, I'm definitely just looking for a team, because even if it's not like nobody's competition to me. I mean, we're just all
Oh yeah,
one big human
there's
race trying to make it in this world.
there's enough out there for everybody to eat.
There's enough for everybody to eat, brother.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I know that when I reach my levels of success that I'm shooting for, I'm not going to get there by myself. I'm going to get there with a group of people. So
Definitely,
already starting to create those relationships.
definitely,
So I
man.
think it's going to work out.
For
We'll
sure.
see how
Bro.
life takes us.
Hey, you keep going with a positive attitude and hard work, and it's gonna take us to great places.
We're trying to create like a little group chat of like positive minded people. Ron's the first one that told me like, yo, put me on there. I mean, he was the first one that I talked to about it. So yeah, let's see if we get like a little group chat of good people and see what comes out of that group chat.
Let's do it, man. Add me to the group.
Perfect. We're 2 for 2.
Hey, you're on a roll.
All right, my brother. We'll talk some this week, and then if anything, we'll hop on here Monday. We'll talk before Monday for sure, so we can get something. Okay. Well, we already got the time and stuff squared away, but yeah, and we'll go from there.
Sweet, man. Hey, man, I appreciate you having me on, bro.
I appreciate you coming, brother. Thank you so much. And
yes,
for before I leave, I always need to remember to ask this now. Where can anybody that's watching touch base with you? Where can they follow you?
Man, I'm on Facebook, Michael Becerra. It doesn't. I just noticed right here on my screen it says Janelle. That's my wife's name. So that's not my name, guys.
I'm looking
so you can find me on Facebook, Michael Becerra, Becera. You can find me on Instagram, Mikey McFly, MacFly. That's it, man. I'm on Facebook, Instagram.
Do you have a personal Instagram, or do you have like a personal and a business Instagram? Or
I just got a personal one. So right there, I'm just marketing myself and who I am as a realtor, first and foremost as a father and as a husband, you know, as a photographer, as someone who loves to eat good food in the Tampa Bay area. So I'm just posting myself. I don't go crazy posting, but you'll see a lot of, you know, family activities and kids. And then you'll see a lot of my real estate stuff. I do a lot of stories when I'm doing showings or listing presentations. So eventually I'll probably, you know, branch out and have just a Instagram page dedicated to solely real estate. But right now, I'm the package, you know, what you see is what you get, man. So yeah, that's the only Instagram I got.
I mean, if you want my opinion, bro, because I've talked about this a little bit, just keep doing what you're doing, and whenever you're ready to get more on the real estate side, just try and do that on your personal as well, and see where you can find that balance of like, hey, this is my real estate profile and it's my family profile, it's my business profile, it's everything together, because essentially you are your business. So
exactly.
Creating two Instagrams is, I tell people not to do that. That's just a waste of for one, you're always going to have more followers on your personal one.
Exactly.
I mean, you just started it forever ago, so you already have a base of followers there.
Yep.
And then some people do what they do is like they create their personal into their business, and then they just create a whole new personal. Yeah. I mean, unless what you're posting, you wanted to keep it so private that you have to keep it within a personal one. We go back to spreading yourself a little thinner. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of my thought, you know, process and strategy behind this. You know, I've had this Instagram forever and it's me, right? I don't post anything on there that I don't want anyone to see. And like you said, man, I'm my brand. I want to be, you know, everything that I am. So I don't want to have to log into a few different accounts and post strictly real estate stuff on one and strictly family stuff on the other. So it's funny though, because I've had people, you know, some of my wife's coworkers and friends have been like, oh, he needs to create the realtor, you know, Instagram account, and he needs to change his name from Mikey McFly to realtor something. And I'm like, I'm more than just a realtor, you know, I don't want to be just the realtor, Mike realtor, you know? So yeah. So that's where I'm at.
That's perfect. I would, my only one suggestion, I don't know how often you're posting. I would look for, I know that like Business Suite, it's an app, and I don't know if it's also like, I'm sure it's on the internet as well.
Yeah,
That
able to
Facebook
schedule
made.
stuff out.
I really recommend you start scheduling at least one post a day, bro.
Yeah,
I've noticed how many, I started getting a lot more followers just by posting one picture a day.
yeah,
And then I try and do like, okay, so there's 7 days a week. I mean, I'm gonna post this week. I usually decide on Sundays. So this week I'm gonna post like 3 family pictures and 2 realtor pictures. Next week I'll change it up, and then I go like that.
yeah. I kind of go with the wherever the wind takes me, man. Whatever I'm feeling in the moment.
I used to, but then I wasn't posting every day. So then I was
Yeah.
like, I mean, essentially I want Instagram to be more of like a business tool than a distraction tool. So then that's why I was like, let me try and treat it more as a business tool and just upload. Like I know, for example, I'm not even on my phone sometimes. I have it in my pocket or something. And I have like my AirPods on, and I know when one of my posts went live because I feel it on my phone. That's something that I would have not done at the moment.
Is that a free subscription, or is that something you pay for monthly? Or
the one on Business Suite is free. I also have Canvas because a lot of people brought me into it, and it does work. I mean, it's a little bit of an editing tool.
Yeah.
And on there I pay the $14.99 a month or whatever it is.
Okay.
And on there also lets you do a little bit of the content manager stuff or planning stuff. But
yeah,
one or the other works.
Yeah, I got to start scheduling something. I like kind of freelancing it, and going with the flow of the day or whatever's going on. But consistency is key. You gotta be out there, and the more consistent you are with good content, the better results you're gonna get. So
yep. And I preload everything, like the hashtags. I just go through this website that generates all these hashtags and just copy and paste. Like I don't even have the discipline to just go hashtag by hashtag. Like
that's better, man.
But yeah, so far it's been working.
Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, and I don't get into reels and stuff. The only reason I haven't seen more growth is because I don't jump into like reels and videos and stuff. So this is kind of my way of making videos. Like I usually don't go back and listen to it, which is the other bad part. But I eventually go back and listen to it and just see if I can grab like good little clips.
You don't go through and edit at all? No. Just throw it up there.
Bro, I don't know if you've seen any of my podcasts. Like I've had just regular podcasts in the back and in my previous. And none of that stuff was edited. Like you just sit on there and talk a bunch of shit and
just let it go.
Yeah. I'm not much of an editor. I keep it as natural as possible.
There you go. People respect that, man. Authenticity.
I mean, I respect the fact that it's a lot less work to come in here just to edit some little bullshit I set out. So
there you go. Work smarter, not
harder. Thank you so much for joining us, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll see you next week. I think next week's gonna be fun as hell. It's probably gonna be one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be good, man. It's gonna be my first time cold calling on camera, so
we should even go live. Like this one isn't live. This is just recorded, so it's just me and you. But fuck it, we should even go live. What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see what happens. Let's do baby steps.
All right, my brother. It's a pleasure.
All right, bro. Thanks for having me. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you, brother.
Peace.
Bye.